Hey everyone, Ramel here, and today I'm going to be going over some of the benchmarks that I've been running against my new system. It's the 3900X with 16 gigabytes of RAM as well as the 2070 Super. If you haven't seen the build video, you can check it out here. Everything is going to be ran using stock settings and PBO on. All the gaming tests are going to be 1440p resolution since that's my main monitor's resolution. It's going to be using high or ultra settings depending on the game. A lot of the games that I do play are mostly competitive, and if you are playing competitive games, you don't mind sacrificing some of the high graphic settings for the higher FPS. I ran these tests using the highest settings just to see what my system can do, but for the games that are well below 144, I do dial down the settings a bit, but my monitor does have FreeSync, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Also, please bear with me. This is the first time I've done this type of video and there was no real scientific process behind it. To start off, I'll go over some of the usual benchmarking software. I first ran Cinebench R20 and I managed to get the multi-core score of 7000 with temperatures reaching 80 degrees Celsius, and on the single core I got 508 with the max temperature hitting 62 degrees Celsius. For Blender, I used the BMW scene and it rendered in 2 minutes and 42 seconds. For Premiere Pro, this video took about 15 minutes to render on my old computer, and this one is showing that it will take 3 minutes. In 3D Mark FireStrike, I managed to get a score of 20,582. And in the TimeSpy benchmark, I got a score of 10,262. Now let's get to the games. I'm just gonna go over the average FPS that I got for this games, and in the video you'll see the 1% lows as well as the 0.1% lows. For Apex Legends and high settings, I got an average of 152 FPS. This game does have quite a wide variance of FPS depending on where you are. As I'm dropping, I notice that I get only around 90 to 80 FPS, which isn't too bad. I do see that I get 130 once in a while, but I don't notice any stuttering at all thanks to the FreeSync. For Fortnite Epic settings, I get an average FPS of 102. This isn't something that I would play normally. Since it is Fortnite, it does look pretty good on any settings. For high, I get an average FPS of 177. So I will mix these two to get a pretty consistent frame rate at 144, but I don't need to play it on everything epic. So for PUBG, I got 125 FPS, high settings. This isn't a game that I played quite often. I played a few rounds and I just didn't enjoy it, so I'm probably gonna stick to Apex or Fortnite for my battle royales. I had about like 16 hours and I thought it was fun, but coming back to it after a big break, I just wasn't feeling it. For Overwatch, this was all ultra settings. I got an average frame rate of 155. Which is really good. I didn't test on all maps, but I do imagine some of the more open maps, this would drop maybe around to 120 or 130. So I do need to play a little bit more. I haven't done my placements yet, so I'll probably wait for the next season to pick it up again. For GTA 5, I got around 137 FPS using high settings. This is also something I don't play too often. A few of my friends have been playing it again, so I wanted to install it and see how my system ran it. I do want to play the single player game because I haven't done that either, but hopefully I'll get to it in the near future. For Doom, this is all ultra settings using Vulkan. I got an average frame rate of 188 FPS. It looked really beautiful. I haven't played this game either, and this is something that I'll probably try to get through as soon as possible. For Project Cars 2, using high settings, I got around 181 FPS. I didn't try Ultra just yet, but I'll probably try that in the next few days. I imagine my frame rate will be around 130, 140 hopefully, but it does look really good using just high settings, so I may just keep it at that. Some of the classics for Dota 2, I have an average FPS of 208. Pretty sure any computer can run this at a pretty high FPS, but I was just curious. This is something that I played a lot back in the day, and something that I want to get back into, but just don't have the time to dedicate to learn and understand all the new mechanics and heroes. For CSGO, this is another one of those games that any computer can run, but this is a game that I do play a lot. I started getting back into it, so I've been playing quite often. I do have my FPS max at 300, and this does not have any problems hitting that.
One near a car.
For the WoW loading screen, I get an average of 100 FPS, and in-game I do get 100 FPS as well. I haven't increased the FPS because I couldn't find the settings and I don't remember how to increase it to go past 100 FPS. But most of the time anyways, for WoW Classic, I'm staring at this Q screen. So yeah, hopefully this hype dies down in the next few days. And as you'll see, I'm still in queue as I'm editing this video. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed that and have a better sense of what the 3900X can do with the 2070 Super. I know everything was ran using stock settings, so maybe I'll do an overclocking video next. But I definitely wasn't bottlenecked by the CPU, as most of the games ran under 20% load. The GPU, however, ran around 95 to 98% with the more demanding titles. So that's obviously a big bottleneck, and maybe the 2080 Ti would be a really good upgrade to maintain 144 Hertz or 144 FPS on ultra settings. But right now I'm okay with dialing down my settings instead of spending that much money. Also, next week I'll probably do a Twitch video, kind of the settings I use with the 3900X and what kind of performance loss, if any, that I do see when streaming and playing at the same time. If you haven't followed me on Twitch yet, it's twitch.tv/forbiddenx. And also don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more content. Anyways, that's gonna be it for me. I'm out. Peace.